Hey everybody, it's Greg again. It's another edition of Unbreakable podcast. It is Tuesday, January the 27th. Hey, we're almost done January. I can't wait. February goes fast. We're into March, springtime. We start to turn clocks and oh my God, we're getting there. We're getting there. It's really, really slow and painful and agonizing right now, getting through this dreaded January, but we're getting there. So here's the thing. Today happens to be chocolate cake day. Oh, Granny, do yourself a favor and get a nice piece of chocolate cake today. Who cares about the diet? What the hell? Who cares about the calories? You need something to get you through these awful days of winter. It's here in Pennsylvania. It's like 10 degrees outside. It's it sucks. It really sucks. It is, you could expect it to be cold around winter time, but like this, I mean, come on, come on. We got a lot of snow. But we got about 9 inches of snow the other day here from that monster storm. That's gone. They're saying another storm may be on our horizon for this coming weekend. We're not going to think about that right now. What we're going to think about today is chocolate cake. All right, you might be on a diet after the holidays. You might be like, oh, I can't do it. I can't do working out and all that stuff. Forget about it. It's chocolate cake day. Treat yourself. You deserve it. Have a piece of cake on me. Anyway, we gotta talk. We gotta talk Phillies again. The last couple of times I've been on here, I've been bitching and complaining about the Phillies. And rightfully so. They have no plan. No plan. It seems like what's the old saying? They're flying by the seat of their pants. They don't know what the hell they're doing. Dave Dombrowski, who is the general manager, he's got one foot out the door because he wants an expansion team to come to Nashville, Tennessee. He has a home down there. He's hoping to get into the front office of Nashville and his whatever remaining days of his life, he hopes to work for Nashville. Okay. But while you're here, Dave, do your job, okay? Do your freaking job. He is not doing his job. Really, Dombrowski hasn't done his job for the last couple of years. Think about it. What has he done? What has he done uh, as far as making this club better, getting them over the hump so they could get back to the World Series and finally win the World Series? What has he done? He'll say, oh, well, we got to wait for the trade deadline. And then that comes up in July. They said, well, no, we'll do something in the winter. And then that goes by. We'll do something during the season. He does nothing. And he really hasn't done much this year to help the club. And now, one of the guys who helped the Phillies win the division last year and get to the playoffs against the Dodgers, Harrison Bader, has signed with the San Francisco Giants 2 years, $21 million. Now, you mean to tell me the Phillies couldn't afford that? They could afford to pay a bum like Adolis Garcia, who hasn't done anything for how many years? But they're really taking the chance. There's no guarantees on this Garcia guy. They're hoping he catches lightning in the bottle. They're hoping he will return to his days where he was MVP of the World Series with the Texas Rangers a couple of years ago. But there's no assurance in that. So they jumped at Garcia. They gave him a contract 1 year for $10 million. And yet Harrison Bader, who what you're going to get from him, you're going to get elite defense. Whether he's playing center field, right field, whatever, you're going to get top-notch defense. He's going to hit. Last year he hit. He had, 17 home runs, hit about 275. which is a bonus. He's only 31 years old. He's a plus average base runner. He brings a lot of excitement, enthusiasm, and spark to the club. And he could hit leadoff. He could hit down in the order. You basically pencil him into the lineup, and Harrison Bader's going to do whatever you ask him. So, but no, they couldn't give him 2 years for basically the same amount as they paid Garcia. They couldn't do that. All you're going to hear all the excuses from all the so-called know-it-alls on social media. Oh, well, you could do that because Bader was looking for wanting to play every day. True, he wants to settle down. By the way, he called the Philadelphia fan base here extraordinary. The best fans he's ever played before. And Harrison Bader's been around the block a few times. So that was nice. You mean to tell me you wouldn't be able to find an opening for Harrison Bader? I mean, it's not like you have this great outfield. Right now, you got Brandon Marsh at left, who's like an average ball player. He does nothing exceptionally well. Nothing. He's a risk on the base paths. He doesn't have power. He'll hit an occasional home run. If he gets lucky, he doesn't hit 300. He doesn't play elite defense. He's okay in left field. He stinks in center field. He either misjudges balls or he's not fast enough to track down fly balls in the alley. Brandon Marsh is what he is. He's a mediocre ball. Okay, you're going to need somebody in platoon with Brandon Marsh in left field because Brandon Marsh can't hit left-handed pitching. We've been through this over and over and over and over again. He cannot hit left-handed pitching. No matter how much the Phillies tried to squeeze that round peg into the square hole, he can't do it. He needs somebody to platoon with him. So you couldn't put Harrison Bader again? Sure, he wants to play every day, but he is your insurance in case Justin Crawford doesn't work out in center field. What if Justin Crawford gets hurt? So you're going to slide a useless Brandon Marsh into center field? Are you going to put Johan Rojas? We've been through that down that road too. Harrison Bader could play right field too. I mean, this Garcia guy, who knows what he's going to do? You're paying, yes, for insurance, but here's the thing. It's not like you have a lot of great answers in the outfield because you don't. You don't. Other than Justin Crawford playing center field, which I totally agree with. You got to give this kid a chance. Hopefully he works out. Right field is Garcia, okay? Because we know Castellanos not coming back. All right. But on the bench, you Otto Kemp, really Otto freaking Kemp, and it's some guy named De La Cruz, Brian De La Cruz, used to play with Miami. And then you have Gabe Ricotis. They're hoping for lightning in the bottom with him. I mean, it's not like you have this juggernaut of outfielders. And that's the thing. The Phillies right now have the worst set of outfielders maybe in the entire baseball. The worst. And you can't find a little bit of time for Harrison Bader, who at least you know what you're going to get out of Harrison Bader. You can't do that. Dave Dombrowski has misjudged the outfield picture, and he misjudged free agency, trades. He is put him in a nursing home. Dave, do you want a cookie? Do you want a cookie? Let's have a cookie before we get you to bed, huh? It's disgusting and it's frustrating because this may be like the one Philly season that nobody's really excited about. We should be excited about because the rest of the teams in Philadelphia suck. The Flyers, and they beat Colorado one night. They score 7 goals. They come back home and get shut out by the Islanders 4-1. The Sixers are they're trash. The Sixers are trash. At one point yesterday, they were down by 50 points to the Charlotte Hornets. The Charlotte Hornets are beating the Sixers by 50 friggin' points. Really? Daryl Morey, fire yourself. Oh, dear Lord. I've said it before till the cows come home. This organization, they're losers, a loser organization until you clean house and get rid of all these losers, including the whiny coach and the do-nothing GM. And you have a clueless owner he's worried more about his football team than his basketball team. Oh, I'm so rich. I own so many franchises, including the Jersey Devils and the Washington Commanders. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to turn next. Daryl Morey is damn lucky that he has a clueless owner, or else any other owner would fire his ass in one time. But this owner is so preoccupied with his football team that he doesn't have time. He doesn't have time to check in on his basketball team and see how rotten it is. So we wanted to get excited. Don't forget about the Eagles getting bounced in the first round in the playoffs. The world champion Eagles get bounced by those almighty 49ers who got trounced by the Seattle Seahawks. We wanted to get excited about the Phillies this year. That's my point. We wanted to get excited about the Phillies. The Phillies could have owned this city. All they had to do was make the right moves and spend a little money during the off season, make a few trades, don't run the same friggin' team back. The same team that choked how many times in the playoffs, the same team that has shown you over and over again that they can't do it. They can't do it. Alec Bohm can't do it, okay? Bryson Stott continues to get worse because it tries to hit home runs all the time and swinging too hard and striking. This team can't do it. Bryce Harper is okay. He's okay. But he's more or less shown himself. And now he's got an attitude because the stupid GM said he's not elite anymore, which is probably true. But now Bryce Harper has this attitude. He wears the T-shirt, "I'm not elite." And, he's putting himself like in some sort of type of valve trick chamber. Because I don't know, Bryce Harper, he's into the social media now, TikTok. He's like a weirdo, the weirdo. And he's replacing his blood with other blood, and he's doing like all kinds of strange shit. Bryce Harper. Ugh. Ugh. Anyway, my point is that the Phillies could have had this city in the palm of their hands, and they let it go because they had a stupid, do-nothing general manager who is afraid to make trades anymore. Get with it, Dave Dabrowski. We're not talking about 1959 anymore. He's afraid to put opt-outs in contracts. That's the way contracts are, man. You gotta move along with the times. We're not playing back in the 1930s anymore. Get with it. John Middleton. Oh, I didn't get my effing trophy back in. Yeah, right. Why did you even sign Bryson in the first place if you're not going to go balling? Yeah, the Phillies are trying to straddle the fence and go halfway, half-ass Phillies. That's what I would call them. They put posters up everywhere at the back. Half-ass Phillies. They're trying to rebuild a little bit by bringing in the young kids, but then again, they're trying to go all in because they're trying to win a World Series. Yet they won't make a key trade to put themselves over the top. Half-ass Phillies. Because the fans are going to come to the ballpark anyway. It's the All-Star season where the All-Star game comes to Philadelphia. So the fans are going to buy all the merchandise and they're going to come to the ballpark. And we don't really doesn't matter if we suck this year because the fans are so gullible are going to come. And they're probably right. I mean, I love going to the ballpark myself, but part of going to the ballpark, and I guess the fans have been spoiled, is that we want to see a winning team. We have hopes of getting back to the World Series again and finally winning it with this core group of players. But we've been through this before. This group just cannot do it. They choke in the spotlight. That's what happens. You got a pitcher who instead of throwing the first base throws the home. You got these players that the moment's too big for them. I don't know. Anyway, uh, you know, it's disgusting and depressing because you see, and I'm not saying Harrison Bader is the next coming of Babe Ruth. He's not. He's not. He's a good, solid player. He's not a superstar. He's never going to be a superstar, but he's better than what you have. That's my point. He's better than what you have. And you can't find the opening for him. You can't find money for him. You're wasting it on other people, but you can't give it to a guy who really did help the club last year. He really did. And you saw what happened. He got hurt in the playoffs, and the Phillies offense just wasn't the same. So, content. Dave Dombrowski is content. He's content with the team. That will go down in the history of Philadelphia sports, the infamy of Philadelphia sports as one of the worst comments ever, ever. When the general manager says he is content. You should never be content. Even if you win the World Series or win the freaking Super Bowl, you're not content. You always want to get better. You always want to improve. Saying, I'm content. I don't need to do anything else. I think I'll go over here and take a nap because I'm content. It is just stupid in its wrong. And that's the whole thing about these Phillies during this offseason. Stupid and wrong. They had no game plan from the get-go. They put all their eggs in a basket to get Bichette, Bo Bichette. Fine. You didn't get him. Okay. Life goes on. What's plan B? Plan B was they panicked and they signed JT Romo to a contract they didn't need to sign him to. They're holding out all winter not to give JT a third year in that contract. And all of a sudden, because they lose out on Bichette, they changed their minds within the hour. And they say, here, JT, take our money. You can have as many years as you want. Take it to you. Where I was really getting used to the idea of not having JT around anymore because he was starting to get annoying. He was starting to get a pain in the ass, I would have rather the Phillies looked elsewhere for a catcher, like maybe a younger catcher, a catcher whose skills aren't declining. But no, the Phillies settled, and that's the problem. The Phillies are settled too much. And, Dave Dombrowski is this dead guy. He's got one foot out the door. We've got Rob Thompson, who's like comatose in the dugout there. Don't forget, Rob Thompson is a disciple of Joe Girardi. And we know Joe Girardi was this analytical robot guy. You prop him up in the dugout, you put a few pillows behind him there, and you wind him up and you let him sit there and read his notes. That's Joe Girardi. And Rob Thompson's the same way. So this is what you got. The only voice of reason was John Middleton, who happens to be the owner and the boss. And John Middleton seems like he's settling too. Well, I don't want to pay their luxury tax anymore. I think we've gone far enough. And, I think that's it. Well, okay, John Middleton, Why even re-sign Kyle Schwarber then? Why? If you have that attitude, right? Why? Why? Why not just blow the whole thing up, bring all the kids in, let them play, make all kinds of trades, double a lot of salary, get all kinds of draft picks and young prospects, and start over, right? Maybe in another 5 to 10 years, you'll get your freaking trophy back. But now, this isn't going to work. You're half-assed. You're on the fence. You don't know what you want to do. Do you want to go all in, or do you want to rebuild? Or maybe I'll do that. It doesn't work that way. It never works that way. I love blood pressure. Super Bowl, Seattle, New England. Personally, I hope the Patriots get their ass kicked because I still remember when they cheated. You know, I have a long memory. I remember when the Patriots cheated. Those cheaters. Brady's not around. Belichick's not around. I get it. I get it. They still have the same stupid owner and the same stupid fan base. I don't want the Patriots to win. By all rights, Seattle should kick them. Because Seattle has a good team. Tough defense. You can run the ball. Hell of a wide receiver. The quarterback looks like he's back from the land of the dead. So Seattle should win. But, we have plenty of time to talk about the Super Bowl, and we will then. 86% of the people think the Seahawks are going to win. That scares me because the public is usually wrong. And the public has been wrong this year in football. So that makes me believe the Patriots are going to win because nobody thinks the Patriots are going to win. But like I said, we got plenty of time to talk about the Super Bowl. And the Eagles, I know they're having a hard time finding an offensive coordinator. Who cares? Take as much time as you want, Eagles. The main thing is find the right guy. You don't want to do it half-assed, but the Phillies are doing things. And then it turns out you picked the wrong guy. No, take your time. Don't worry about these people in the newspaper or on sports radio, talk radio. Don't worry about them. Take your time and pick the right guy, right? So, that's about it. We're here contending with snow and the freaking cold. And we got the Phillies that upset us now. So my recommendation to you is, other than ordering my book, Strong and Bone, and reading it, and the audio version will be out very soon. I should have the date pretty soon. It's all done. The guy who's or has already narrated it is done. They're just editing everything. Maybe check for mistakes in it. But I'll let you know when the audio book is out because you don't want to strain your eyes. You don't want to read. I understand that. Just lay back. Unless you're in the car, don't lay back. Drive and listen to the story. And my second recommendation is have a piece of chocolate cake today. Do it. Do it. Don't say to me, Greg, I'm really fat. I gained a lot of pounds over the holidays, I'm working out here and I can't chocolate cake. Yes, you can. One day. It's chocolate cake day and you could do it. Do you need special absolvents from the Pope? I'll get it for you, okay? I'll call the Pope up and I'll say, look, we need a special dispensation for whatever how you call for people who eat chocolate cake too, okay? Whatever. Anyway, thank you everyone for listening and for watching. I'll be back again soon. Like I said, we want to talk about the Super Bowl. We want to break down that game. Patriots Seahawks. Are the Seahawks really going to crush them? You would think so. But Is it really going to happen? Well, we'll talk about it as the days go by. We even have all next week. And who knows? By the time I come back on, maybe Dave Dombrowski will get off of his old ass there and start doing something, huh? You know, he's running out of options here. What can you do? I mean, one thing he could do is trade out Bo, get rid of him, and get a new third baseman. There's that guy Suarez, another Suarez, hit 49 home runs last year. He's not the greatest defensive player in the world, but he has power, and this team needs power desperately. Other than Kyle Schwarber, who else hits home runs on a consistent basis for the Phillies? Who? You got maybe 10 from Turner. You got 10 from Bryson Stott. You got maybe 10 from JT. That's fine. 10 from Brandon Marsh. Okay. But who is really a threat other than Schwarber and sometimes Bryce Harper when he's not busy doing stuff on TikTok? So that's one option. The other option is signing Zach Gallen, who's a local kid. This Bishop Eustace, he could be in fourth and fifth starter. And I'm not all in like some people are all in on this Taiwan Walker. Taiwan Walker is what he is. Oh my God, everybody's now in love with Taiwan Walker because he didn't lose 20 games last year. Big whoop. Taiwan Walker stinks. Thank God he's in the last year of his contract. Thank God. Boy, the Phillies really looked at, did that. They should have cut him a long time ago. You know the Phillies, they make a mistake and they don't cut ties. We have to suffer for their mistake by watching stinking Taiwan Walker pitch. I don't want to watch Taiwan Walker pitch. I want Taiwan Walker to get his butt in the bullpen and sit there most of the year. Okay? I want the Phillies to sign Zach Gallen, and he could be your number 4 starter to take the place of Ranger Suarez, who is down to Boston, because the Phillies, in their infinite wisdom, did not think that Ranger Suarez should come back. He wanted to come back to Philadelphia, but the Phillies did not want him. And what do? The money that they could have paid with Ranger, they squander it to give it to the declining old ancient catcher. Well, all right, Dave Dombrowski, do something. Show me something, okay? Don't, for God's sake, don't run this same friggin' team back. Don't tell me you're doing it. Don't tell me. Don't tell me you're doing it. Okay. All right, everybody. Have a piece of cake, chocolate, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for listening. Take care.